So do you want to lose a stone in 6 weeks?
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
Here we go, guys. So we have been doing a very specific diet of late. We're going to go through Jonny's diet today. He did a 6-week shred, cuts, leaning out process.
6-week transformation.
Transformation.
If you want to call it a transformation, it's a kind of transformation.
Yes. If you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, you would have seen bits and pieces throughout the last few weeks. Check it out if you haven't already.
It's in the description below.
Yes. So, what did Jonny do for 6 weeks?
I did absolutely nothing. I sat on my bottom and somehow I just lost a stone. And I had some of those pills that you just eat and then you just get magically better.
Just crap all out. Basically.
Yeah, just crapped it all out, and I've got no adverse side effects, and I'm perfect. No. So for 6 weeks, I was in a calorie deficit. Surprise, surprise. The calorie deficit being, it was no special diet. It was pretty much a fairly equaled out diet. It was high protein, good carbs, good fats, but I was in a 800 calorie deficit, as opposed to a 500 calorie deficit is what you should normally go to if you're on a consistent diet, but I was just going on the upper echelon of what kind of weight loss you can lose.
Yeah, we don't really recommend anything more than 800 calories, to be honest with you. Quite detrimental to your health. So 800 at the most, really.
Yeah, 800 at the most. This is something that, as an experienced trainer, an experienced person who's been training for years, I can kind of understand the nutrition that goes into it. So it's very high nutrition, but very low calories. So I wasn't cheating at all. Apart from like the occasional maybe like crisps or Subway at the weekend, but even the Subway was like healthy. You know, there was like small popcorn here and there at the cinema. But I didn't really drink, I didn't really do anything else. It was mostly just a clean diet, which we can go into on another video. But, so how did it go? What happened? I don't know.
That's for me.
How did it go for me, Luke? How did it go?
So, Jonny did not change his training at all. So his output, his physical output was the same. Basically what we look at was it 6-day-a-week training.
6 days a week, yeah.
Training 9 times roughly a week. And that sounds like a lot. But as PTs, it's not that much because we pretty much live in the gym.
All right.
We pretty much live in the gym.
Very much.
So we train with our clients. We do like 15 to half an hour calisthenics here and there.
Yeah.
Joined as Muay Thai once, twice a week. You know, his output was the same. All that changed was that calorie deficit.
Yeah, and give you a little insight of what my training is. It's a combination of powerlifting, bodybuilding, like Luke said, calisthenics, some Muay Thai. So it's a combination of a bit of everything. We're not very consistent at being like good at one thing. We like to try and be like jack of all trades, maybe master of none. But we do try really hard. So yes, my kind of training didn't change at all. It was just the energy output of being in an 800 calorie deficit. So over a 6-week period, did it have any detriments to my body? Maybe one or two things. Hunger was definitely an issue every now and again. I was definitely feeling at times, a little bit like, oh, I could just get, you know, like a Big Mac, not a Big Mac, but you know what I mean? Something really
just carby.
Just carby and enjoy that big ass meal, but I didn't go for it. I just stuck to like, I'll deal with like fruit and things like that. If I'm really hungry, I just got that fruit energy up, you know, from the sugar and stuff. And then over the 6-week period, I'll show you a couple of bits what I've done. So just go to this now.
So what were the calorie breakdowns? So Jonny sort of stuck to an equal like 33% of proteins, carbohydrates and fats.
Yes.
So the reason for this is although you're looking to be a calorie deficit, you still need to try and maintain that muscle mass. That protein intake needs to still be quite high.
Mm-hmm.
So he was hitting 160 to 180,
yeah.
You said, yeah? So 160 to 180 grams of protein per day, again, to maintain that muscle mass, but you still need to be getting your carbohydrates and your fats in there to keep that energy levels high. So when he's doing your heavy deadlifts, big lifts, he needs that energy source. So although I can imagine your body was quite strained, and the same weight.
The performance didn't drop in terms of the weight, but my central nervous system would definitely hit a little bit more. So one of the things I would say, if you are going to be in a big calorie deficit, maybe don't go to your maxes, maybe just kind of like taper it back a little bit, hit maybe a little bit more bodybuilding if that's your goal, but stick to your main goals, just don't go mad, essentially.
So the sort of end message here is that it wasn't necessarily the change of workout that caused the 6-week transformation. It was literally just a calorie deficit and managing that diet effectively. Yeah. Again, back to the previous videos, we talk about types of training. What you enjoy doing is what you should be doing. As long as your output's there, doesn't matter what it is, that's your main goal, is to keep the output high, enjoy it, and just manage your calories effectively. Yeah.
And with me, I could be in that calorie deficit and around maintain most of what I was doing performance-wise. If your goals are different, if you want to be a powerlifter, etc., and your goal is to lift as much as possible, I wouldn't recommend necessarily being in a calorie deficit at all. At least minimum of your maintenance calorie range. If you haven't yet, again, you don't know about calorie ranges, etc., check our previous video out, like Luke said. And if you look at it from there, you can kind of see what your maintenance is. And from that point onwards, you can see what you need for your performance and what you're training for. If it's sport specific, then maybe you don't want to be in a calorie deficit. But if it's purely for fat loss or weight loss, then definitely stick to a diet like this. If you want to do a diet like this, we actually do have an app.
We do.
We do. We have an app. It has a 10 to 12 week workout on there. One's ranging from bodybuilding to calisthenics, if you are interested in calisthenics. Very basic calisthenics, but calisthenics nonetheless. This is mainly aimed towards beginners, people who are trying to do it for the first time, as well as bodybuilding. There is a powerlifting type one in there. It's more like a power building. And also we would monitor your calories. So when you first register with us, in the links below, the prices are set up in there as well. If you wanted to ask us in private, obviously DM us in Instagram or Facebook. But the thing what we wanted to say was, what we would do is we'd ask you a few questions and we would send a personalized diet plan or calorie range for you. Obviously we'll range it to your type of training, we'll arrange it to your type of what your composition wants to be, what do you want, essentially. We would kind of put that in there for you after a few questions. It's not just a generic plan with a generic diet going in there. We'll definitely specialize it for your kind of training and diet.
Yeah. Next week, we are looking at my transformation. So briefly touching on that.
Yeah.
So 12 weeks transformation. I looked at intermittent fasting, so I tested it out. I was sick of people talking about it, so I thought I'd just test it out and see what all the fuss was about. And my results were slightly different to Jonny's, so stay tuned and check that out.
I'm interested in that.
If you like this video, please make sure you like, share and subscribe. And also, our little videos will be here. There's a nutrition playlist I'm kindly, lovingly made for you all. And subscribe.
And share.
And share.
And subscribe. I'm not going to do the same as last week, but please subscribe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.